Hey there, it's Simon Hurley and I'm here with Ranger at Scrapbook.com, excited to share my new product line called Simon Hurley Create with you. There's lots of exciting projects that we're creating and different things you can use to create with my line, so let's get started. In today's lesson, I'm going to share how I create backgrounds to ground my images on cards. There are lots of really cute critter images in my stamp sets, but sometimes they can be hard to incorporate onto a card. So today I'm going to share a couple of quick and easy ways to kind of create backgrounds to ground them on your cards. So let's start out with something pretty simple like this one. I'm going to do a little bit of masking, ink blending to create a background like this. So let's get started. I'll start off by taking a piece of masking tape and I'm going to place this where I want the horizon to be. I'm just going to press that down onto my card there. Once I've done that, I can go in with clear skies and I'm going to do a little bit of ink blending, starting from that tape line and moving my way up on the card. And you don't need to go all the way to the edge when you're creating a background like this. It's pretty easy to just fade into white by not adding any more ink on your blending tool and just continue to blend until you have a nice background there. Now once I'm done with that, I can easily lift off my tape and then I'm going to move to the grass. So to do this, I'm just going to take my tape it right over top of that blue inked area. You'll find that the tape doesn't stick super well to the ink, so you're just going to have to hold it down there to kind of mask it down. And then I'm going to go in with overzealous, hold that down, and then I'm going to do the same thing below. So not going all the way to the edge, and then kind of fading it out into white to create that really fun grass background. So once I've done that, you've created a really great background for your image to sit on. Now another fun thing that I like to do if you want to add a little more interest to your background is I'll take another piece of cardstock to kind of mask it off. I'll mask off that grass area below. And then I'm going to take my splintered background stamp and I'm just going to spray over top almost like we're inking up the stamp with the water. And then I'll flip that over right onto my inked background. And you can see that really fun wood grain is kind of lifting off of that sky image there. And once this dries, it'll continue to kind of lift off that ink and keep reacting to create that ghost stamped image. Using stencils and texture paste is another easy way to create a background for images to be grounded on. So here I used some images from the Bestest Friends stamp set, and I just colored them in and added them right onto this looks like rain background stencil. All I did was take some texture paste, this is the transparent gloss, and mixed it in with a little bit of my ink and put it right through the stencil. You don't always have to have a horizon line for them to be standing on. This grounds them enough to give them a little bit of an area to sit on. Now another way to create a really cool shaped and inked background is by using one of the gel plates from Ranger. So this is the circle gel plate, and I'm going to just take some of my inks. I'll take some clear skies first, and I'll just add in some areas on here. Then I'll grab a little bit of later gator, and I'm just going to kind of tap my ink into there. And then I'll finish it off with a little bit of slippery when wet, just using the corner of my ink pad to add a little bit of color onto there. Then I'm going to take my distress sprayer and mist that with some water to get our color kind of moving on there. And then I'll take a piece of cardstock and place it right into there, just giving it a little bit of pressure. And then you can lift it right off of the surface and you get a really great shaped and inked background. So this is a really cool area of watercolor. And since it's that gel plate, it creates a really great transfer of your ink. You can even go in a second time and mist this over top and place another piece of cardstock onto there. And then when you lift it off, you get another kind of lighter print. So you don't get that full circle in there, but you can use up whatever ink is left on your gel plate. Now another way to get a really concentrated color is using the gel plate and also using some re-inker. So I'm going to take my distress sprayer with some water in it, and I'll spray the water right down onto the surface, and then I'll add a little bit of Remember Me. I'll just add a little bit of color from the re-inker in there. I'll add some overzealous, and you only need a little bit because it's super concentrated color. And then I'll add a little bit of Slippery When Wet. Then I can take a piece of stark white cardstock, and I'm just going to press it right down into that re-inker, and then I can lift it right off of my surface. And here we have a really cool background once you're done. It's got that really awesome concentration, and this is a great way to create some fun planets for that space trading stamp set. So it creates some really cool effects on there. So to finish this background off, I'm going to take the little rocket ship from the Space Training stamp set and some archival jet black ink, and I'll ink up this image. And then I can flip that over and stamp it right over top of the background. And then I'll finish this off with a sentiment. This one says, "I love you." I'll stamp that right down onto the card. And then I'll stamp down to the moon and back as well. So you can kind of fit those together to create your own sentiments using the stamp set. Ink that up, and then I can line it right below the sentiment and stamp that right down. So I love how this card turned out, how simple it is with that really vibrant background, and you don't even need to do any coloring. I just stamped down that rocket ship, and it's a great grounding place, like a little planet for that rocket ship to sit on. So I'm just going to apply a little bit of tape runner to the back of this card panel that we've created, and then we can add it right on top of our top folding card base. I hope you guys really enjoyed learning a little bit more about grounding the images on your cards. You don't always have to create little horizons like this. Creating fun and simple, colorful backgrounds is a great way to pull images together on your cards. So I cannot wait to see what you guys create with my inks and some of these awesome images in the gallery. Thanks for watching. If you liked this video and want to see more from Scrapbook.com, please like, share, subscribe, and leave a message. Happiness is life handmade.